Welcome back to night 2 of PGF season 3.
Yeah. You're good.
All right. So first off tonight, we're going to talk about the match of the night from last night. So the commish picked Kevin Primo and Jonathan Roberts. All right. So Stephen Aiken is going to lead us through what happened during that match.
This was a really highly anticipated match, and I don't think anybody really expected it to be any less exciting than it was. Both guys really were going to come out firing, and Jonathan pulled right into an Ashi. Kevin's pretty good at defending. He slipped out his leg. J-Rob pulled under, got like double unders on the butterfly, used like a beautiful sweep to get over, and established like a spiderweb-ish kind of position, and then used like a swim move inspired kind of armbar play to get Kevin's arm. And I think Kevin,
He got to his knees.
he got up to his knees, and I think he thought that when he got up, he was going to be able to slip the elbow out as he was standing with his posture, and it just didn't happen that way. Jonathan had a really good bite on the thing, and I think he got a nasty pop on his elbow.
Yeah.
Because after the match, I tried to talk to him a little bit, and I wanted to shake his hand, and he really couldn't reach out with that arm. So I really, don't know exactly how he's going to fare, for the rest of the season, but definitely that was a fireworks kind of match last night. It may not have been my pick of the night, but I'm not mad that was the choice.
Oh, no, absolutely not. And so for each match of the night, every night the commission is going to pick one match. It has to end in submission, and each of those competitors is going to get $100. So each Kevin Primo and Jonathan Roberts is going to get $100 each match of the night. All right, next we're going to cover the points breakdown. All right, so let's talk about that. So you got a graphic there, Keelan. So our leader is Manning Leverett, and you might see, looking at the graphic there, that Manning has 13 points. And so hopefully you guys didn't forget the extra point for the team point. So Team Toe Hold, since they ended up with 39 points, and we'll go over everybody else's team points in just a second, but they won, their team won, so each competitor gets an additional 1 point added to their total, so that's why Manning is at 13. All right, so he is our leader, and then we go to Elijah with 10 points. So Manning, let's talk about what were his submissions there, Egghead.
I remember he got to, I believe it was 2 different breaks. He had the one arm bar that he switched to the other side when it was being defended. You gotta help me out with the other 2.
Let's see. Okay, sorry about that. So he got an arm bar against Isaac.
Yes.
He got a bulldog choke.
Oh yes, Carla. That was
Carla.
actually a finalist.
That was match of the night.
Yeah, we were
tonight.
thinking about that for
to me. But
that could have
I
been
had
match
probably
of the
forgotten
night,
about
right?
Jonathan and Kevin at that time.
Yeah.
And then 3 points for an arm bar on Marcus Elkins.
Yes.
All right, so he he got 6 points for a kill with the bulldog
Is that a
choke,
fact?
and then 3 points for a break, 3 points for a break, and then his additional point is from the team point. All right, then Elijah, 3 breaks.
3 breaks. I mean, we kind of saw that coming against Randy Road. I mean, he faced 2 of the biggest competitors in the PGF. But he kind of lucked out, we saw, because both of them had very serious weight cuts. Both of them were cutting at least 25 pounds, bare minimum. And, with that extra day to hydrate, they were both pretty big. They were at least 190 pounds when they stepped on the mat.
Right, that morning. So, yeah,
Yeah,
who
that
knows about
morning.
that night.
Indeed. So, we already know that Randy Roden, even from season 2, was very dangerous. D1 wrestler, just smooth hips, hard to get. And we saw it. You guys appreciate that he really worked on that leg lock defense.
Oh, he looked fantastic against Gio.
Against others, but
Yeah.
not Elijah, because he's Elijah.
All right.
So, but still, with the competitor that skilled and that size, very smart. Especially it was the first match to get the break and get out of there, because he still had Primo, and he still had the elbow genie Jonathan Roberts to worry about later on. And so the same thing with with Kevin Primo, a super tough competitor. Again, did the smart thing, get the break, get out of there because he's still got to deal with the elbow genie. Mm-hmm. And then again, elbow genie, super skilled. Take what you can get. You got the whole rest of the season to deal with.
So what do you guys think about Elijah coming into? Okay. What do you guys think about Elijah's game plan from here on out? Do you think, so we saw him get 3 breaks last night. Do you think that he's going to try to go for a kill? Since he got that first round draft pick, is he sitting back with his, first round draft pick money and just going to be chilling, thinking that he's going to go ahead and, make it to the finale? Or what are you anticipating out of Elijah?
I got him getting 15 tonight. I'm putting him on. I'm putting him on my team. I'm spending the money to put Elijah up there. I think he's probably going to get 3 in the match. Crap, what was that?
So
his first match with the leg locks. Is it Do It?
No, he's got Harrison,
He's got-
Gibbs, and Randolph. But I got the 15 with you. I agree. It's just a question of your
Wrong
breakdown.
ones?
With Elijah has Evan DeWitt.
Yeah, that's going to be the break because Evan's going to force him into some leg games, and I think he's just going to go ahead and take that one, and that's just going to be what's there. So I got 3 on that, maybe 4.
Let's see, he's got Matt Harrison.
He's got
6
Matt
versus
Harrison.
Matt Harrison. I think he'll triangle Matt Harrison.
Just to prove a point,
Just
huh?
for a little fun, and then
Makes
I got him getting a 6 against Noah also.
Okay.
So
Oh, wow. Well, I could definitely see that. So I think something we all need to know, and it's important, especially for fantasy purposes, Evan DeWitt is not going to be in there.
no?
No, he's been called out because of his ankle. The coaches made the call. They're calling upon Josh Gibbs, the backup.
Okay.
And so, you got to make sure. I actually updated that on my
Breaking
blog
news.
post. He cannot go. You saw, I think it was David Evers popped his ankle.
Yes.
And even on his later match, he was still limping onto the mat. But the question was, okay, is he going to be able to go again tomorrow? Because yeah, he's limping even with all the adrenaline pumping, everything going on. But, hey, give it a chance to cool down and
swell.
start swelling to the size of a softball maybe. I haven't seen pictures, but I hear they're out there.
Okay.
So we'll see. It just kind of shows the importance of, in a format this long, a whole week long worth of competition, you need a tap. I mean, this isn't one of those tournaments that's a one day, hey, let it pop a couple times. It's like,
No, some of these guys you need to tap fast.
Definitely.
Yes.
Very fast.
and so, we saw Josh Gibbs do really well at the combine. He's very analytical, very smart guy. Again, he's PGF Season 2 vet. We're down at, actually his weight class. He cut a little bit. He's back up to at least 185. And he is
good.
ready to go in. Coach Eli Knight's, excited about his prospects. Although his matchups tonight are pretty rough. Like we saw Elijah Carlton there. They're very, and I love Josh Gibbs, but you give Elijah a chance, he's going to get that kill.
Okay.
I had 15 as well, but I still think Noah Randolph might push him to get a break because he's hard to choke. You saw Marcus Elkins pull for everything he was worth, even from that great backpack position. He got it eventually, but we've seen Noah fight through a lot of chokes before.
So do you think, do you think Evan will be back, or he's just taking a night off, or that's,
I mean, we'll see. Enough ibuprofen, ice, and elevation and rest.
Yeah,
I don't know.
All right. So Keelan, go back to that graphic on the leaders there. So we had Manning in first place, then Elijah, and then it gets kind of close here, guys. All right. So Caleb McAllister got 7, so he ended up getting that extra point because he finished within the first minute. Mario Gayor. So what was his 7 was from? He got a
Triangle choke on Matt Harrison.
triangle choke, and then he got the team point, right? And then Kevin Buring got
Two breaks
two
and a team
breaks
point.
in the team point. All right, Gio Ortiz, 6 points. That was a choke.
Flying triangle.
Flying triangle choke.
That was pretty dope.
And then Dane Leak. What was that
He
submission?
got a choke.
He got his choke.
Yeah. And then Matt Harrison got that buggy choke.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see that 3, 4, 5 are all at 7 points, and then 6, 7, and 8 are all at 6 points. So very, very close. After those first two leaders, things are very, very close for those upper spots right there leading into, or we still got several games till we get to the finale. But after that drop off point, then it's several threes. Which is nothing to laugh at right now because there are not a whole lot of people that have threes. Some people have zeros.
I mean, a fun stat is that Kiahi, being the reserve for Team Toehold with 1 point, has more points than half the field.
Right. Right.
Or more point, I guess, would be accurate.
Yes,
He has
a
8.
point.
He's ahead of them in the standings,
Exactly.
With 1.
having not touched the bat.
Which is also kind of funny if he's poking a little fun at Kevin Sherrill, his teammate, who a lot of athletic matches, 3 matches, hard fought,
He worked hard for his 1 point.
tied with Kiahi.
He worked hard for that 1 point, for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty. Okay, so guys, which matches are you anticipating? I'll kind of share with you the things that I was looking at, and then you can tell me what you're looking forward to there. So we got David Evers and Kevin Buring tonight. So this is going to be Battle of the Leg Locks. Then we have another thing I was looking at, Randy Roden and Carlos. So we'll have a Battle of the Wrestlers. And then just some fire matches that I'm expecting. Caleb McAllister and Dane Leake. That's going to be amazing. And then Caleb McAllister and Manning Leverett.
Yep.
So I'm
And Dane
really
Leake's got David Evers also tonight.
Yep, and now we've hit all the ones I was thinking about as well.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Battle of the Leg Locks. Are they going to go for breaks, or can the choke come out of that? And then our wrestlers are gonna show off. So Stephen, did you have anything that you were looking forward to other than those?
No, I think that's the main ones I was looking at, and I did kind of, for whatever reason, circled that Roden and Carlos matchup, even though I do think it's going to be a draw. Last night, there was a couple of times I thought that they were going to be. I even kind of said it as the match was coming out. I was like, I think this is just going to be like a really hotly contested draw, because you could just they were really well matched, and right now everybody's not quite figured out what's going on yet. So I think that's going to be a pretty hotly contested draw.
Well, we did see Randy working a lot of defense. Some of his competitions, like Gio, he had him on the run. So, we haven't really gotten to see, is Randy got that aggressive offensive pattern down yet? And then Carlos is, at the very beginning he said, I'm going to stay in the pocket and I'm going to be passing and I'm going to be offensive. But we saw him kind of dancing around, just staying right outside of the pocket, trying to look for his end, trying to look for that submission. And he did get an awesome submission. Who was the armbar against that he got?
Right.
Longer? I thought it was Longar.
Was
Was
it?
it a black? It was a black belt. I believe it was Eric Longar. But it was like last second because we were like, come on, let's see this match go somewhere.
Yeah, it was Eric Longar. You're right. Yeah.
So, but I'll say this though, I don't think he's gonna be able to do that dancing. You got a D1 wrestler right there, and a D1, and guess what? He's a couple weight classes above you, buddy.
Yeah.
So my guess
Big
is,
difference.
So you think he's going to put the smush down?
he's gonna put the smush down for sure. He's gonna take him down, put down that weight, wear him out, and I have him getting a kill. I think he thinks this is somebody that he has a chance, being that much bigger than, and still have that same skill set of being a wrestler, that he can put that weight on, and he should know he needs the kills where he can get them. He needs to find them, and this is one place where he could.
And surely he wouldn't run from the clinch, right? I mean, because Randy's going to put hands on him and get him in the clinch, and then there's nowhere to go, right?
Flying across the mats, perhaps. Yeah,
That's pretty interesting. I didn't think about it in that aspect of the size difference, but I just still think that Carlos is probably going to be able to keep it moving enough that even if he does maybe get highlighted a couple times, he'll be able to stay in the game.
maybe. We'll see.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him get thrown, but I don't know if that would end the match.
Who has to put points on the board tonight? It's night number 2. Like we said, there are several people, no points on the board. Who has to step up and put some points on the board?
Well,
Go ahead. No, you got it.
Who's in the hot seat?
obviously for me personally, Isaac. Isaac Stackhouse's got to step up there, and he had some tough matches last night. We knew he was, everybody knew that those were some tough matchups for him going in. He had Manning Leverett, who was like pretty tough and on fire last night. So he had three pretty tough zeros. So going into day two, we want to see some points coming out of this, and I think that there's a couple opportunities for him to get some points in here that maybe people may not think so. I think he'll probably be able to figure out a 3 against Primo if that's the matchup for the day. And I'm gonna go out on the limb and say that he 6s Gio in their matchup tonight and takes home the kill on Gio Ortiz.
Okay, what do you have to
It's a
say?
bold
to that?
strategy, Cotton. See how that works out. Hey, maybe you're the coach.
He's got to score though, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
he's
yeah.
got to score, and it's not even about being the coach in this way, but as the analyst, you're out here. You've worked this hard to get to this point. You got picked up 3rd in the draft. That's a highly stock place. There's a lot of people that you got selected above. You got to go out here and you got to represent your draft pick choice, and be leading the charge for the team there in that 3rd slot.
I got 2.
Okay.
Okay. Jonathan Roberts has to put points on the board. Jonathan Roberts told us that we were gonna see a different Jonathan Roberts. He had some really tough matchups, and I feel like he came back and fell back into his old patterns, and he fell back to the breaks, and he took what he could get in some of those tough matches. He's got 3 points. He looked amazing. But he's got 3 points. So I hope that we don't end up in that same position as season number 1, where it was Jonathan got all breaks, ended up middle of the season or the end of the season, and he's on that bubble. He's getting all those submissions, but are you going to make it to the finale?
Yeah, but again, as I wrote today, I think there's a paradigm shift now.
Okay.
With all the extra parity, the Jonathan Elbow Genie Roberts take what I can get and get the heck out of there as quick as I can starts making some sense. I mean, if he just keeps if he gets all breaks today, which I have him doing, I mean he's right up there in the top 8. And if he just keeps that consistency, and he sees all these people getting injuries, the attrition could be very, very crazy this season. I mean, it's the reason why the commission gave us the alternates. So we'll see. Maybe he gets some kills, but I feel confident you could always, well, at least tonight you can count on 3 breaks. I think.
Okay.
But you're right. Everyone should feel a little threatened that they need to put points on the board.
And then Kevin Primo.
Yep.
He went 2nd round. Kevin Sherrill too. He got that 1 team point. Both Kevin Sherrill and Kevin Primo, tough matches. But they have to put some points on the board, and like we said, Kevin Primo not shaking hands and letting that arm hang and that kind of thing. Is he going to be able to take those submissions that he needs to put those points on the board? And it's going to be very interesting to see how he performs tonight with that possible injury. Maybe it was
What's going to
maybe
be
it was
interesting
nothing.
is seeing Josh Gibbs run out there and do 6 matches tonight and throw himself in the mix. Maybe. Right, he's the alternate for Primo's Heroes. He's already stepping in for DeWitt, and now if Primo's down, then what's going to happen? If something happens, does he get to fill those other 2 slots?
That's
Maybe
interesting.
you got a value choice in Gibbs out here.
It's tough because the number 1 rule of fantasy, PGF, is not to bet against Kevin Primo. However, a number of us violated it last night because of the horrible schedule.
I don't like the
dehydrated.
rules. I would not put it past Kevin Primo to duct tape his arm to his side and just go out there and slap bump just one arm.
Well,
and that's the problem. Like before knowing the extent of his injury, I had him getting 18 points. I thought Kevin Primo, if you give him a challenge and you give him a shot, like he has a much easier schedule tonight. I thought, okay, he knows he has to do it, like you said, and he's going to go out there. He's going to run through a damn wall.
Yeah.
But
I almost think that Kevin performs better when the chips are against him. He's like, "Oh, y'all don't think I can do it? Watch this."
yeah, but there's like a pop,
And then there's
how many
pop, pop,
points
pop, pop,
tonight? Before you found out about the arm, how many points did you think he had?
3 kills.
You had 3 kills?
Yes, because I thought a motivated Kevin Primo is a very dangerous thing, and that's when I thought he just had a pop and not a I can't shake hands pop. I can't shake hands pop. I got him at 0 now because
Okay.
I just can't trust it because I don't know the extent of the injury. And if he can't use that arm, I mean, now there's Woolsey there, who's still too much of a gentleman because he didn't go after Evan's ankle. I mean, you could see he was there and he didn't
He was,
because
like,
he's
reaching for it.
he's a good kid. But no, I don't think he's gonna go after his arm. But he's not gonna be able to use that arm, and you kind of need both of them.
I don't know.
I'm not sure, man. I know that Primo, and he's the homie or whatever, but he's definitely underperformed, and now he's putting himself in a position with hurting his arm to where he's setting himself up to have another really rough season here, and I hate that he's done that at a number 2 pick for his own team, right? Now they're scrambling without Evan. For a veteran of the PGF, I think we could have expected a little bit more like consciousness of what's happening and not needing to maybe try to force every match to the bitter end to make somebody hurt you to win, like literally hurt you and break you to get the victory. Like sometimes you just got to be willing to say like enough's enough and live to fight literally another day, which is today. You have 3 more matches and you could have let that one go and came back in today, like you were saying, full of piss and vinegar and had a real shot to like wreck these dudes' days. But now I got him down for a good 0-2, and I think everybody's going to go after him. I think Beering's probably going to go for get the 6 on him. I think Stackhouse is going to get the 3, and I think Woolsey's going to get the 3.
Oh, well, if he can't use his arm, yeah, go for it. But say he underperformed, sure, 0, got it. He faced 3 of the top 6 players in this season, 3 of the top 50%. He faced them all last night.
He was one of those players too.
Yeah,
He was the 5th pick in the draft.
Indeed.
So you're supposed to beat those guys. If you're one of those guys, you're supposed to beat those guys, right?
that's a pretty tough schedule.
Oh, yeah.
But you justify your spot, right? We're going out here and we're establishing the pecking order right away. You're a second round
Every
choice
time
for
I
your
see
team.
Kevin, he's better than he was. And he kind of reminds me, have y'all seen Monty Python? That knight that gets his arms cut off and
Black
his
Knight.
legs cut off, and he
You
goes,
shall not pass.
merely a flesh wound.
No, man.
That's what I'm thinking
Honestly, he's
about
super
Kevin.
tough. He's very durable. He's that dude, right? He's very incredibly tough and hard to handle and durable. But now, without one arm, he's cost himself so much. Like, so now I don't get to see him when he's supposed to show us that he can shine, to show us the Primo that he's supposed to be. We're all looking for that, right? We're all cheering for. I wanted him to be that dude. I'm like, yeah, let's get it for these old dudes, them kids.
Yeah.
Like, and now he's taking that away from us by being a little hard headed in that situation with Jonathan.
Well, you're taking a really tough
He's a
stance.
competitor,
You're
but-
taking a really tough stance right now on not being smart and giving up something. But earlier you just described the scenario as he thought he was going to be able to just get that arm out, like he's probably done a million times before.
Right.
And yet the elbow genie somehow caught on.
He is the liquid Terminator. He's used to just slide.
Well, and
But-
then maybe he didn't have enough
Yeah.
rehydration to be the liquid Terminator.
Maybe not.
No, he was caught. That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
like
he
that.
was.
That's the thing. You have to know in that situation when you make that move, you're either in or out, and you know that when you make that choice, it's either going to be the break, like the literal pop where you're hurt, or you're going to escape, and that's the choice that you make in that situation. I've had my elbow popped in competition doing the exact same thing, and it's worked and it's not worked. So that's what I'm saying. You get to kind of choose that in that situation to where it's like, to hell with it. Let's see what happens. I think I got it. Or, man, I should probably stay down here and like make sure my arm stays safe and maybe just have to tap in this situation because there are, 12 more matches in the next 3 to 4 days. And I could forget all about this one by coming out here and putting the stamp down on everybody tomorrow.
So is there a strategy, do you think? So I'm thinking about like Matt Elkins hurting his ankle or his knee, actually, season 2. And so then he just came and sat and he was like, okay, well, I'm just going to work on my guard game. Is there a strategy that Kevin can use that maybe he can finish out the week? Let's just say, because we don't know, guys, we don't know what is wrong with Kevin's arm. If anything's wrong with Kevin's arm, it could have been healed overnight and he had some,
Could be.
some miraculous things happen. And he comes out and performs, to perfection tonight. But let's say that there is something wrong. And so do you think that there's a strategy, he's just doing one arm chokes?
I don't know if that's available with the field that we have. There's not the available people to just say, yeah, he's going to be able to go out there and one arm this thing and get these guys.
Or sit and try to pop triangles, spam
a
triangles.
lot of his best stuff is his squeeze. It's using his arms and putting that power in
Yeah.
there on guys and making them break and stuff like that. So he's not known for having like really dynamic hips and different things like that to shut guys down on. So he's known for the power. And I think, without that, it's going to be super hard for him to establish stuff. Now, if he does, I'll be happy to start singing his praises as one of the greatest of all time, because the dude was definitely hurt yesterday. And if he comes in today and acts like nothing's wrong and shuts it all down, then he's the man. And I was wrong, but I just don't think he's going to be able to rebound. It's too fast. It's too quick.
No, you definitely don't put him on your fantasy team.
Yeah.
Okay. So was there anybody else specifically that you wanted to talk about who has to put points on the board?
Well, you hit it with Kevin Sherrill. I've had him ranked 8th in my draft order.
Another second round pick.
D1 wrestler, 10th play in Atlanta. He's the only one on Team Toehold not to put up points. But he had a pretty rough schedule. But now that he's going to get some easier matches, you have to kill those guys. You have to find them. I think that Steven talked about it in his season last time. Like, who you have to get kills against. And now he's going to have some opportunities coming up. And I think tonight he's got 3 good matches. He's got to knock out of the park if he wants to stay relevant for the top.
Right. I did see him walk off the mat, and you could just tell that there was some frustration there that he did not get those finishes. And so I'm hoping tonight that he can come back with that resolve. All right, I'm gonna get some kills, and Gio Ortiz, same thing. He's like, he apologized. I'm sorry, you guys, that you've seen this, that I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do better. So do you think that we're gonna see a different Gio tonight?
I think he's going to come out very aggressive. I think he's definitely going to be hungry. I don't know if everybody really was prepared, and if you can be prepared for the way that the PGF and the points and things like that start getting into your head after you have matches that end in zeros and stuff like that. Or you had good matches, maybe like he didn't have like bad matches that he got the zeros in necessarily, but he just didn't get the scoring that he wanted. And so that really fires you up in a lot of ways, because now look at these guys that are all ahead of him, and he was one of the favorites coming into the whole thing. And it's only one day, but as the competitor that you are, you don't think that way, right? You got to come out here and he's got to put the stamp down on these guys. But this is my fly pick of the night, as I do have Isaac going out there and surprising him a little bit, because I think he's got a couple of tricks up his sleeve that may work out in his favor. But that's definitely me going out on my flyer pick of the night.
So Gio tonight has Carlos, Marcus Elkins, and Isaac Stackhouse. So do you think that he could get... Okay, so Steven's saying he's not going to get a kill on Isaac. Do you think he can get 3 kills tonight? That Gio can get 3 kills? He's got Carlos,
And Marcus.
Isaac, and Marcus.
Oh, pardon me. I messed up. I had Randy on there for some reason. I must have screwed up on when I was doing my picks on the fantasy. I think he could. I think some breaks are more likely.
Okay.
I think if he can catch Carlos and get a break because he's so elusive, he'll probably settle for that. Isaac might. There's a good chance he either comes back with the shield or comes back on it.
Okay.
So if he's trying for that kill himself. When you're aggressive and you go for that submission, you open yourself up for submissions.
That's true.
So, that could be an opportunity for him to get a kill as well. It could go either
Or
way.
it could be oppositely true.
That's what I said. Like if
On
Isaac's
the shield
going
or with
for
the
it,
shield.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're either you're gonna take that chance, but when you take that chance, you open yourself up.
So I'm saying we're talking about the pressures on Gio.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what's going to be the thing that makes it the opening for
that
Isaac.
he's gonna make a mistake.
Maybe that's going to be what gives us what we need in that spot to go out and get the thing, because he
Well,
feels some
I
pressure
did
to score
see
points on
Isaac.
the purple belt that he thinks he's supposed to go out there.
No, that's fair. Very
Isaac
fair.
was coming out last night, super aggressive, collar ties and that kind of thing. And Gio was not as aggressive, going after the kills. So maybe
Isaac needs to be aggressive in a lot of ways to play his best stuff. That's what he needs to kind of do. So if Gio comes out aggressively, then I think that could play into Isaac's favor a lot more. So that's what I think, some of that pressure from maybe feeling like he needs to go out there and score. And like I said, last season. It was like a little knockdown to my knee, but in my mind, he almost like threw me over my head when I came out at Judo Justin, and he like hit that little foot sweep, and I was like, all right, man, you got to chill out. Just because you know you're going to go out here and get the kill, you can't just go out here and act like this is a child that's not in the game, because he will like do things to you.
Yeah,
so these guys may find themselves on day 2 being a little overzealous, looking for the kill on some people, and I think that's where we're going to catch a couple of counters and see some people get points that we didn't expect maybe.
That's a very fair point. I mean, you were trying to goon Judo Justin, and you're like, okay,
Yep.
all right, I gotta chill out.
Yeah. Okay, so with the possible injuries on the horizon there, do you see anybody playing safe? So, like, thinking about that match between Kevin Buring and Caleb McAllister, not wanting Caleb circling. Yes, Kevin laying on the ground, Caleb circling. You know, we did not see a whole lot of action. Are these guys that are first-round draft picks satisfied with the amount of money that they had secure and thinking that they're going to get a finale, that they're going to get into the finale? Are they playing it safe, not going after the kills, you know, because the rule set of the PGF, we're fast-paced, we got a 6-minute match, you don't get any points for a draw. Are they trying to keep their bodies safe? Are they going to be playing it safe?
They very well may. Like I said, I think seeing the other injuries, seeing the parity, it very much becomes a game of, hey, get what I can and get out as quick as possible. So I think people are going to settle for breaks a lot more, because it used to be, you know, you heard all the interviews. Everyone's like, oh, I'm going to try for the choke for the first couple minutes, and then we'll see. Then I'll settle for a break. I think, you know, seeing the strength of all the competitors and seeing people get injured, people are going to say, first submission available, stay healthy, stay able to keep playing, and I'm good. But we'll see, though, because, again, kind of pressure. Caleb got 7, sure, but the other matches weren't as great for a, you know, second pick overall, somebody that we all have very high expectations of. So, again, might he feel that pressure to say, okay, this is what I'm really about? And I had two of those matches we were looking at. The first one up, Dane Leake and Caleb McAllister, 2 of the top picks. That should really tell us something about both of them, but even more so possible about Caleb. Caleb now has another young gun coming up with Manning Leverett, and how's he face that? Now it's not like the, oh my God, he's going to break my leg type of thing like Buring, but
it might be.
Yeah, he can do that.
Manning's legit.
Manning can do about everything.
Manning's complete.
Yeah.
He's only a purple belt, but he's competed in a bunch of tournaments. I've seen him up close and personal, go against much larger opponents and hold his own, and he's incredibly tough. Like, people don't know him yet, but Manning Leverett's going to be a name that people are going to know, and it may not always be from this season because he's going to get his name known, but he's definitely going to be somebody in the future that people are going to know because that kid's legit for sure.
And what I saw was a very well-rounded game, you know,
He's
as
got it all.
opposed to Kevin Buring. We haven't seen much of his game other than the leg locks, and so I don't know that Caleb can stay safe and not be running or or disengaging. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. You know, you don't just walk into a trap.
Dane Leake told us today that he's not going to let Caleb sit back. He's not going to sit back and just be under him like that. He's going to go forward. He's going to make him engage. He's going to push the pace.
Good, yeah.
So I believe him, and I believe Tyler Woolsey will also push the pace and not sit back too much on Caleb. I believe that, and I think that also again with Manning, he's not going to be able to sit back and wait. But I'm wondering, and this may be just me thinking, but I wonder if Caleb is just mostly going out and putting the work in on the black belts and the higher belts first, and making sure that he's letting the top guys know who is the top guy kind of deal, and just kind of not worrying as much about the ones that he doesn't have to worry about. Maybe he's playing a longer kind of strategy than we think or know about. You know, maybe he does have a lot of 6s and 7s in his mind that he knows he can get, and they're going to be some of those black belts that he wants to put the stamp on. So I don't know if he's going to be able to sit back tonight with these guys because they all are hunters. but he's got to score again. He can't just have that one match and it was the first one. That's the thing. He had one really dope first match, and then after that, it kind of went a little bit lower. Mario kind of gave him a lot of trouble, and then the last match against Kevin, it seemed like he just didn't want to engage. Not even that it was something that he couldn't figure out. It's like he didn't even really try to spend the energy and the effort to go into that and figure out Kevin's like side guard game that he was trying to play against him.
So I like it. You're thinking he's playing the long game.
Definitely.
Because you mentioned before in one of your podcasts that, like, unlike your season or the other seasons, you know, the flash to bang, the time between pardon me, the regular season champion and the finale champion is about 48 hours. And so becoming that regular season champion, not quite as important as being healthy and just making sure you're in the top 8.
Yep.
And then, you know, blowing through people on that finale.
I think Lindsay makes a good point about they're already paid for the season, right? So if you're already paid for the season, then technically you need to only make it to the playoffs with a decent enough seed, right? You don't want to be the bottom seed because then you could end up like Roberts was in season 1. But also, you know, you do want to just make it to the playoffs because then that's the next time you'll have an opportunity to get paid. So get through this with enough points, kill the people you're supposed to kill or whatever, save your body, save your structure for everybody else, and then come Saturday, that's a rule set that Caleb McAllister is very tough in. He's going to be hard to handle on that. So I think that he's definitely looking at it with a perspective that maybe we haven't all thought through very much.
And that's a sneaky play because of the 2018 match I saw between Caleb and Elijah, that's how Caleb won. EBI overtime. So maybe coming in last gives him a chance to take him out
First.
in that rule set.
OT, right?
In OT, because if you wait till that finale,
Because that's only a
It's
10-minute match
no
now. We can't
time.
see. It's not going to draw out to
yeah.
beyond.
Oh, that'd be crafty.
very
That's his
So
long game.
That might be something that you guys need to think about when you're thinking about fantasy. You know, are these top guys, are they satisfied with their pay?
We know that McAllister is better than he showed in a couple
absolutely.
of those matches, right? I was really surprised to see that. So I'm giving him some grace there and saying that this is a long strategy that he's trying to play and that he's not. gonna
Caleb,
go
I
all
love you.
guts.
I'm stirring up some.
But hey, you do got to go score, bro. If you're watching, you got to go out here and you got to
Stirring
put the
the
stamp
pot.
on some of these guys. Still, you still got to let everybody know why you're the man. So if you go out there and you get the kill on Dane, that'll really set the tone. Even if he doesn't really go out there and get the other guys like that, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. He's getting the 7 points on a black belt right out of the gate.
No, that's good.
So-
I said, if his plan is to find a way to see Elijah in EBI overtime, that's, as they'd say up Northeast, wicked smart.
All right, so we're about to wrap things up, guys. Something that we did want to let you know about, and Egghead and I and Steven just found out about it, is when we were picking our draft picks for tonight, our fantasy picks, you have to pick 7 players. So it had been in the past that you could pick 6 and then maybe have some money left over, you know, pick 1 expensive player instead of 2 cheaper, you know, players, but you have to pick 7 to be able to save your picks. So, you know, don't send us messages that it's not working. You have to pick 7. All right. Anything else you guys want to add before we wrap things up?
I kind of like that move because that makes it a lot harder, and you're going to see a lot more variability and spread amongst people. Even last season, when it was just 6, a lot of us figured out that just picking the top 6 available or finding the 6 really good ones was the way to go. Every time I tried to I'm going to be sneaky. I'm going to get these 2 guys. There's a chance to get more. Always bit me in the backside.
But now everybody has
But now
to
everyone
do
has
that.
to. So it's equal playing field. It's great.
All right, guys. So make sure that you're tuning in at 6 p.m. and we're going to get the matches started. And if we're not right at 6 p.m., just hang with us. It'll be worth it, I promise. We'll see you guys really soon.